Boeotian city of Chaeronea controlling the road into the heart of Greece. Philip's forces numbered around 30,000 infantry and 2,000 cavalry. His phalanx, arranged in deep blocks, formed an unbreakable wall of sarissas. The companion cavalry, the elite strike force, were commanded by his son Alexander, just 18 years old. The Greek coalition fielded about 35,000 men. The Athenians, veterans and citizen soldiers alike, took position on the left flank. The Thebans held the right, anchored by the sacred band, a unit of 300 warriors, each paired with their lover, fighting as one body. Between these two forces stood not just soldiers, but centuries of rivalry, pride and fear. Philip understood his enemy. He knew the Athenians were brave, but prone to overconfidence. He knew the Thebans, disciplined and deadly, were the greater threat. His plan was simple but brilliant. On the left flank, Philip would face the Athenians. He would order his troops to feign retreat, luring them forward and breaking their formation. On the right flank, Alexander would command the companion cavalry, poised to strike the Theban line when the time was right. The battlefield was set not just for combat, but for a tactical masterpiece. At dawn, the plain of Chaeronea trembled under the tramp of tens of thousands of feet. The two armies faced each other in silence, the air thick with tension. The Athenians, eager to strike the first blow, advanced. On Philip's command, the Macedonian left gave ground, step by step, maintaining perfect formation. It looked as though the Athenians were pushing them back. The Athenian generals, believing victory was near, pressed harder, but each step forward stretched their lines thinner. The discipline of Philip's phalanx never wavered. On the Macedonian right, Alexander waited. The Theban sacred band stood directly opposite him, their shields gleaming, their line unbroken. At Philip's signal, the moment came. The Macedonian left halted their retreat and locked shields. The Athenians, caught off balance, suddenly found themselves facing a wall of spears. At that same moment, Alexander led the companion cavalry forward. In a thunderous charge, they crashed into the Theban flank. The young prince fought at the very front, spear and sword flashing. His cavalry cut deep into the Theban line, sowing chaos and death. The sacred band of Thebes, 300 warriors, now stood surrounded. They fought shoulder to shoulder, refusing to give ground. Plutarch writes that they were never broken, though they were hewn down where they stood. The Macedonian cavalry and infantry pressed in from all sides. One by one, the sacred band fell, but none surrendered. Their bodies formed a wall, each man dying beside his companion. When the dust cleared, all 300 were dead. Philip, moved by their courage, ordered a monument built where they fell. With the Theban right destroyed and the Athenian left in disarray, the Greek coalition collapsed. Thousands lay dead. The fields of Chaeronea were red with blood. Philip had won a decisive victory. Athens was spared destruction but forced into submission. Thebes was punished severely, its political power broken. The Battle of Chaeronea marked the end of the independent Greek city-states. Philip formed the League of Corinth, uniting Greece under Macedonian leadership. For Thebes, the loss of the sacred band was a wound that never healed. For Athens, the dream of leadership was gone. And for Alexander, the battle was just the beginning. Within a few years, he would succeed his father and lead his army east toward an empire that would stretch to the ends of the known world. Chaeronea was more than a battle. It was the sunset of Greek freedom and the dawn of a new age.